Welcome back. Welcome back. I feel like I'm yelling already to the podcast. We got a fresh podcast for you guys today. We're going to have some fun. Dr. AJ, Dr. Gabriel, Awaken Chiropractic, Omaha, Nebraska, your friendly neighborhood neurologically based chiropractors. Excited to have you today, Doc. Tell me how you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. It's been a stressful week, but I've been staying well adjusted, so that makes it much easier to manage. How are things in the home life with all the kids running around?
Yeah, stressful week, but hey, everything. I have a mentor that's like, everything's hard. You know what? It's hard to be single. It's hard to be in a relationship. It's hard to, be employed. It's hard to be unemployed. It's hard to be skinny. It's hard to be fat. It's hard to be disciplined. It's hard to be like undisciplined, right? Yeah. It's all hard, brother. So just blessed to have the opportunity to live today, share today. Kids are crazy. I got a very aggressive lovers for kids. So they want to pop little baby's head off, but that's okay.
Nice touch.
Yeah. Maggie, she gets a little fussy when she has a bowel movement or gets a little gassy. And so Maggie just hands her over. She's like, press the poop button, press the fart. Just do this. It's just like these massive blowouts. So things are good. Chiropractic's been a major blessing for us over these last four weeks or so with baby.
Yeah. How's your body been doing? I haven't seen you in the office too much, so I know you haven't been getting adjusted.
So, I get adjusted quite frequently. I get checked.
Yes, you do.
Guys, I get checked a lot, right? There's nothing wrong with getting checked a lot, getting adjusted as necessary. So we even tell our team, don't come to us and say, hey, can I get adjusted? Hey, can I get checked, right? We'll check and we will adjust if necessary. The frequency at which I've been getting checked has been down. I can feel that. I don't know if you guys can feel that. If you're under care and you have, let's say we got this week off coming up, right? Next week's completely off in the practice. And you're like, man, I can just tell the gears of my body just grind a little bit more. They just don't move quite as well. Man, I can feel myself getting a little shorter. I can feel my immune system working a little bit harder, like my nose starts running a little bit more, things like that. And overall, I can tell my body's not working. I look at some of these people who were with us for years under care, had massive improvements under care. And they're like, you know what? I think I'm going to try stretching just a little bit more. That should really make up for chiropractic and me not getting that. So I'm going to take a break from care. And first of all, no. Second of all, I'm getting outside of my frame, aren't I? Sorry.
Yeah.
The second thing is there's no way that you don't feel the changes. I feel so much different when I'm not getting adjusted, man. Have you had what was the longest spurt you've gone without getting adjusted?
Like the last decade? 3 weeks maybe.
And that's a long time.
That was a really long time.
What if you didn't brush your teeth for 3 weeks?
That's basically what was happening to my spinal cord, but instead of gingivitis and plaque and cavities, it was subluxations and stress and pressure on nerves. We just can't see it or taste it, so we're not as concerned about it.
Exactly. And if y'all's spines, your friends and your family's spines stunk as much as their mouth stunk when they didn't brush their teeth, when they didn't get adjusted, we wouldn't have enough chiropractors.
No, we wouldn't.
Can you imagine if the spine just stunk when people didn't get adjusted, man? It'd be so much easier to be like, hey, maybe you should take care of yourself.
You're not wrong.
Not at all. So that rolls into us having a week off next week. You guys all prepped up for that? Last day open today as we're recording this before our week off.
Yeah, everyone's kind of excited to spend some time with friends and family for Easter, and got to find and hunt down all those eggs. It's going to be a good time.
Absolutely. Olin, if you guys want, I'm hesitant to declare this because when this video comes out, but every once in a while on the corner of 30th and State, you will see Oli and I in the back of my truck selling eggs here and there. So we're going to do some of that. We're going to try and sell out some Easter eggs for kids to die from our chickens. So it should be fun.
Chickens.
Me and my chickens. I'm a chicken boy now, man. So, but things are good. I want to roll into some testimonials. Any big testimonials from you this week?
Yeah, we had a mom from a health talk I did not too long ago. Her daughter is under care. Been under care for about 4 months now, and basically came in for behavior issues and ADHD and wanting to get her off some of those meds. And we did one of her reevaluations earlier this week, and she was just telling me how the little one feels like a completely new person. They're already off one of the meds, and they're planning on taking her off the other pretty soon here. And she was just very thankful, and it's amazing to just see how drastically it's changed her, hyperactivity and her overactiveness. And there's just so many kids on ADHD and ADD medication when they don't need to be. So if you know anybody with that, similar plight as a young child, get them in here. Let's see if we can get our children off medication instead of on more.
It's good, man. It's so good. So for any parent that's like, how does that work? It's very simple. Understand your spinal cord is inside the spine, right? So think about your young kiddo and their tiny little spinal cord inside the spine. From the birthing process or learning to walk, if those bones shift onto the spinal cord, in the nervous system that the brain uses, the whole nervous system, spinal cord nerves, to communicate with every organ, every muscle, and it can't do that. Your brain is going to have an emergency response. It's going to have a stress response. What does your body look like when it's in a state of emergency? Kids ain't going to listen. They're going to be hyped up. They're going to be in a state of higher energy. Everything that you see with ADHD, ADD, all these things, the majority of those things we're quick to medicate on those, calm that system down. So adjustments help calm the nervous system back down. And then we don't treat the symptom, we don't treat the ADHD, but a well-functioning nervous system sure does tend to present a child that's calm, cool, collected, that has the ability to take in information and respond effectively.
Yeah, and it's a study I was reading, I think last year or so. I made a handout about it. It's like 40% of children on asthma medication also develop ADD and ADHD, so they're on medication for that too. But there's no correlation between the disorders, so it has to be the asthma medication. But nobody's going to admit that. So it just bugs me how it's like medication, more medication, medications for the medication, or maybe we just make the body just function a little bit better on its own. It's pretty cool how it's designed to heal itself. We just need to get it the right environment to do that.
Yeah. So why do you think it's not talked about then? Why is there no correlation? I knew I was going to get a smile out of you, man.
Well,
I'm going to dabble. I'm dabbling light. Light today. We'll go deep next week. We'll go deep on it next week. Okay.
Just a long list of reasons, because all we do is treat the symptoms, and a lot of medications have side effects and symptoms, and then we use more medication to treat those. And luckily, in our model of healthcare, sick care, people get reimbursed for prescriptions they write. So why not prescribe someone 12 or 15 different pills?
Mm-hmm. So let's break this up. Medicine is the study of disease and what causes man to die and how do we prevent that. Chiropractic is the study of health and what causes a man to live and how do we create that. Are you trying to not die or are you trying to live?
Yeah.
If you're trying to not die, go the medical route. Okay. If you're trying to live, chiropractic needs to be a foundational staple to your health and wellness and your daily lifestyle, right? Not that you get adjusted daily, but you can get checked as frequently as necessary. So we talk about our vision. Our vision is that every man, woman, and child on the face of planet Earth is checked for nerve interference and adjusted as necessary throughout their entire lives. I'm going to get adjusted. You hear me say it all the time on my deathbed. I'm going to die so good, brother. I'm going to be a great dyer. Yeah, man. I hope you're the one that does it. I don't care. It's going to be fantastic. They're going to be like, man, he died good. Be like, because I was unsubluxated. My nervous system was working. So it just happened the way it was supposed to happen. Anyways, we won't dabble into the whole system yet. But I got to tell you something. It's coming, people. I'm going to have a day where I'm just going to unleash the fury on the system, because the system is designed to get you sick, get your family sick, get your children sick, get them hooked on drugs, all in the background saying, hey, stay off drugs. You ever wear that little red tag, the dare tag growing up?
Yeah.
I remember doing like the parade, I was so into the parade too. I was like way into it. We had our little chants and it's all like, how you going to preach stay off drugs? But, oh yeah, little Timmy doesn't want to sit in one chair for 8 hours. So let's just drug him up. Like, how you have both?
I don't know.
It's because the whole system is designed to make sure you're a consumer that is reliant on them. So I said it. Not mad I said it. Truth, I said it. Let's move on in. We had a practice member request, and you guys can always request anything. You guys want us to talk? I'm going to go into the middle again. You guys can request anything. Okay. We had Miss Beatrice requested that we talk about hydration today. So tell me a little bit, like, we tell everybody drink water after every single adjustment. Can we go a little deeper into that, please?
Yeah. You guys hear me say it all the times. Hydrate, overhydrate. And the reason hydration is so important, especially for our body, especially when we're trying to shift it into a state of healing and recovering, 75% of America is dehydrated. Nobody drinks enough water. And water is so important to our endurance for our muscles, all of our cellular waste that gathers. If we're dehydrated, can't get cleared out. Most of our joints and cartilage are like 70 to 80% water. So my knees hurt. You don't think, oh, I should drink water. Yes, if you're dehydrated, everything's going to hurt more. It basically encompasses almost every action in our body. Everyone says like, oh, the human body is like this percent water. It's because it is. Everything we do, digestion, our nutrient absorption, everything in our GI tract that doesn't work properly is going to suffer when we're dehydrated. And with 75% of people being dehydrated, then we start getting adjusted and our neurological functionality is going up. Our body's going to start working harder and using more water. So I need you to drink more than you already have. So a lot of times people be like, oh, I drink a lot of water. I'm like, how much? They're like, oh, like, 3 or 4 cups a day. It makes me want to spontaneously combust. Absolutely. Minimum, we should be drinking 100 ounces of water. So I tell people to drink a gallon of water. It's 128 ounces. I want you to drink more than the bare minimum. Some days I drink 3 gallons of water. Yeah. And everyone always says like, well, you can drink too much water. The odds of you overhydrating is like getting in 2 different plane crashes in the same week. You're not going to drink yourself to death when it comes to water.
No, I think it's a really good point. When I was in school, shout out Dr. Adwani here. Dr. Adwani would talk about how when you wake up, if you drink water first thing, 12 to 18 ounces of water first thing upon arising. She's a microbiology teacher. Your gut biome, all the microbiota in your biome, she would talk about how the stimulation of that would shift the body and how it helps burn fat. It helps with actually wake you up. It helps with all of your joints and lubrication. It helps start that process because the first thing going into your body sets the tone. And when you're feeding all that microbiota, good, clean water, it has incredible effects. So, and then like overall, what type of, my second question is, what type of water are you putting into your body? Because we know there's hundreds, almost 200 contaminants in the Omaha public water. So you hear us kind of, talk a lot about our hydration station and the filtration and the clean water. And a lot of people are like, yeah, I got a Brita and that's great and everything. Make sure you're testing your water. We're always about the facts. When we talk about neurology, we measure the facts, right? When it comes to water, measure the facts. Take your water, go get it analyzed. You can get it analyzed at Kangen Hydration, which what we can do when we, I think it might be on our website, actually.
It is.
On the lifestyle page, we have Kangen's information. So at wakeinomaha.com, go to the lifestyle page and check it out there. And we have all their contact information in there for you. And get your water tested. And then they can give you proper feedback on what you can do to get a higher quality of water and not poison yourself while you're trying to do something good for yourself.
Yeah, there's a lot of resources out there. Our website has the Kangen information, also a link to Innate Water. They do it as well. And just a regular old water pitcher that filters water that I use at home as well. Even some of the bottled waters that are super cheap, they take all of the good out of the water too to purify it. So when you see like purified drinking water, that's also not the best water for you either. It's just another one of those buzzwords that gets people to buy it.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have the Innate Water. Highly recommend the Innate Water. The whole house system allows you to shower, because even think about the water that's going on your face when you really step up, which you don't want to start thinking about that stuff if you're not drinking enough water. It's like you don't need to start worrying about what water's going on your skin while you're taking a shower. So
it helps with skin health and basically all of the health of our, outer covering. Hydration.
How about that?
if you have, reactions to certain things or eczema or any skin condition or acne, if you're hydrated, your body does a much better job regulating all of that as well.
Yeah.
So that's why we just preach hydrate, 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 because so many people are dehydrated, or their level of hydration that they're at, they think is adequate, but they still need more, especially if you're active. Then you need even more.
Yep. That's some good stuff, man. So thank you for the request. If you guys ever have any requests, you can email us, talk to us in the rooms. You can send us a text message on your Sked app, anything like that. We'll be sure to start dropping those in here. We want y'all's feedback. We're getting so much feedback in the rooms, people watching these, which is great. I love that because we work hard on it to make sure that we're bringing proper information to you guys to feed you and help keep your minds right. Because the path, like the healing journey, is not easy, right? It's not any, and no two peoples look the same, right? So I think that your all's feedback becomes really, really important into the rooms. So let's close this thing up. Does that sound good? Do you have any final thoughts before I close this thing up?
No, but you're taking us out today. Give us something magical.
Before we do, where did we end with the soup drive? Had the soup drive last month.
Oh yeah, the soup drive. I think the final number is somewhere between 600 and 700 cans. So we got to donate to the food bank. The flyers hanging on our wall by our all of our events and our military patches as well. So I can't remember the exact number off the top of my head, but you guys did a wonderful job.
Yeah,
getting soup for people who need it, which is awesome.
Yeah, what a great opportunity to help others, right? So when we always talk about a life well lived is measured in how many people you're able to help. So I love that. So here's a quote. I got a couple of quotes. I'm going to kind of mix these in for one final point today. Okay. Your health does not care what you've done. It cares what you're going to do. There's a rent necessary to be paid to be healthy, and rent is due every single day. Are you paying rent today? Becomes the question. If you're reading this, did you pay your rent today? Did you wake up, eat well, sleep well, move well, drink well, think well? Are you getting adjusted? Are you taking care of yourself to put your body into the best state to adapt throughout your day? And you're doing that day after day after day after week after week after month, and you start stacking these years together, and it takes about 7 years for your body to fully regenerate all its cells. So as you create these new consistent habits, a new you will come about, right? Not just a better feeling you. I'm talking more energy, better immune system, better thoughts, better version of you to your spouse. We see differences, right? We see marriages that are struggling get better because they better communicate when they start getting adjusted. We hear it, right? So I'm going to mesh that with another thing that I was reading. It was talking about people's most common thoughts on their deathbed, and not like almost regrets, but like, man, what would have you wished you would have done? They said, I wish I would have connected with my family more. I wish I would have forgiven people. My mentorship talks about how we drink poison expecting to hurt the other people. You ever have that where you're just like, you're holding on to something and you're just like poisoning yourself because you hate something so much, right? I do it, right? That they said what they actually thought, not just what they thought people wanted to hear from them, and they did what they wanted to do, right? In the end, guys, we get one life. We get one opportunity to live. Everything that we talk about in our practice, the whole purpose of getting adjusted is to ensure that you are always in a position where you can do what you want to do when you want to do it, right? We care about your life. We care about your children's life. We care about your spouse's life. We care about your children's life, because if you get well and you bring your children and they grow up, they bring their children in, it's going to change the complete lineage of your family long term for generations to come. The decisions that you make today, you never know how far reaching something you think, say, or do today will affect the lives of millions of people tomorrow. So continue down that path of growth to make sure that you're always in a position to protect and serve your family. And we're going to be right alongside you to ensure that the best part of you is always showing up every single day. Let's go. Love you guys. Next week's off. We will see you back in the office April 8th. I'm done with my paternity leave. You guys better get ready. I'm coming full force to make some adjustments. We love you guys. We'll talk to you soon.